Okay, so here we go. This is, you can see I got the bike partially torn apart. This is my Husky 2007 TE 250. Putting on some different rear turn signals. This is the original turn signal. And right here is my new turn signal. So let's see how they look compared to each other. See, so that's the original turn signal there. And my turn signal on the rear. Now I'm probably going to have to get a different module for the turn signal to see how that one's blinking fast. That's because it thinks there's no rear turn signal because these are LED. But I think I don't like it so far. Had to do some work on the rear brake. What happened over here is little piece right down here, which adjustable, was hanging out and not picking up. And basically what happened is you got this little screw right here. As you can see, this thing is offset round. Well, the screw had come loose and stripped out, and this thing was just dangling down, so my brake pedal was coming up too far, which was allowing this piece here to come out. This thing doesn't adjust all the way up to where the brake pedal can be all the way forward. The brake pedal actually has some play, has to be pushed forward a little bit to keep this guy from popping out. Now, the other thing that happened was this little rubber piece right here busted. And it's kind of like a dust, not a dust seal, but kind of like a dust boot. So I figured out, okay, no, that's all broken. What am I going to do there? So what I wound up doing was I actually cut the pinky finger out of a, I think it's a 7mm work glove, rubber gloves that I use sometimes when I'm working on some stuff, and wrapped it through the little hard plastic piece that snaps up inside right here, and put it in there and rolled it over and snapped it up in there, and then cut the pinky finger piece out at the end, and that gave me my little dust boot. So, and then I went down and got me a new bolt right here. Got this adjusted now where it's out, and it's nice and tight. So now my brake pedal doesn't come all the way, this piece here doesn't come all the way out. Now the big problem with this, it's kind of, I think KTM did this too. It's kind of a poor design. Really would be nice if this piece just came down and clipped onto here, and then you had a a little shackle right here that then pushed the pedal, forward or not. And it's kind of neat too that on these type of bikes here, there's no relay for the brake light. Actually, what it does is right here, this is actually in line with the rear brake line, and so when you put on the brake, the pressure that you're using to apply the rear brakes actually puts pressure on the little, not quite sure how it works, but I must push it up and makes a contact, and then that runs on your brake light. But I got that sorted out. It seems like it's working now. I crank the bike up and I can press the brake, and my rear wheel stops and my brake light comes on. So that's nice and good. One of the weird things was too is they have this wire that runs this. They actually had it running through the subframe piece here. I guess it keeps it out of the way, but the problem is to get this off, you have to take this piece here off. Otherwise, you twist those. When you're turning this, these wires will twist, and you actually have the possibility of twisting your wires completely off and breaking them, and that'd be a pain, because this being a 2007 Husky, I can still find some parts, but parts are going to start getting scarce on these bikes. They no longer make parts for this bike. I mean, there are some parts because they're shared, but you got to really know who to go through. There's a company up in Illinois so far I've been able to get all the parts I need. But I don't know, one day those will dry up. Hopefully not, because a lot of the stuff, except for the motor, is used on a lot of different bikes and so forth. So a lot of the stuff is kind of interchangeable. But so once I get Figure I got to rip the part here some. As you can see, I got the still casings off. I'm going to take and once I get these off, I figured I'd go ahead and replace these turn signals, and then once I get the turn signals replaced, then I will put it back together. One other little thing I did on this bike is I have a Kuba link down here at the bottom. I dropped this 1.5 inches. It was not too hard to put on, actually. I followed the instructions that came from Kuba Link. It did require the term they used is milling on my swing arm, but it wasn't a big deal. I just took and had to grind a little bit of metal off because you can't see it here. But I did take a video, and once I get that video posted on how to do that, I'll get that set up, and I'll show more on the bike. I don't think I ever shared my bike with you here. You know, you've seen pictures of it, you've seen me riding it, but I never really went over the bike itself. So anyway, I've still got the signal going. Pardon my shop here, it is really messy. I kind of share a bunch of other things with it, so I got to go in here and really clean it out some. But anyway, so I think I kind of like that. That nice little pencil. The things I'm going to do when I do this side, I already got the other one on there. I didn't really do a video on how to replace that. Of course, I'll take this one off completely, right here. And then I'll take my other little, where I bought these. I'll put a link down below in the description on where I got this. Because I got it from Rocky Mountain ATV. And so what I do is I set this on here kind of about where I want it to be. And then I'll look at where that hole is right there, and I'll kind of guesstimate where I want this to be, and then I will drill the hole in here. Now, one of the things you run into, this comes with a screw. Problem is, you cannot get a screw. See, I don't know if you can see it or not. Probably not, but you can't get a screwdriver up into the side right here. My finger is. It's up here is the nut. So I had to went down to Lowe's and got a bolt for it. This used a number 10. Actually an M5, I think it was. M5, I forget the other number that went with it. And so I'm able to bolt it on rather than have to use the screw. So I'll just show some more once I get it all put on. But pretty much what will happen, somewhere around in here, I'll wind up drilling a little hole so my screw can come through. And then I bolt it on, then I run my wires through. And it came with the little pieces here that I needed to plug into here. So I just cut the wire to length and clamped it in. It actually goes into there pretty well. I'll tie this off with some wire ties right here with this right here, kind of up like that. And I'll keep that up out of the way of the wheels, and everything seems to be, we should be out of the way of bushes and such as well. So this will make this a little more streamlined. We don't have those big old turnstiles coming out. On the front, I haven't decided what I want to do yet. I'm thinking about getting some like bark busters or something along that line, and then getting the guards that have the LED turn signals built into them. So that way I can get rid of those turn signals on the front as well. Even though those don't quite have the same problem that, let me go around up here. You know, these guys don't quite have the same problem that the others have when you're hitting tree limbs and such. But it'd be nice, you know, right up in here, they make them with LEDs, or you could get some LEDs and stick them right there yourself and then run a thing up in there. But what I found, the problems I had was on this bike, after I replaced my brakes, fixed my brakes on it, brake light wouldn't work. And what it turned out is my piece here, because when you push this in, there's a click. I don't know if you can hear it. Well, this was pushed in, and you hear, I don't know if you heard that, it clicked, so it left my brake on the whole time. Now, see? So that's why I'm going to go ahead and get some bark bust or something on there, because that could get kind of dangerous here. I'm thinking I have brake lights when I'm on the road riding, and there are no brake lights, so that would not be good. That could turn bad. Anyway, eventually I'll probably like to replace that tail light with an LED as well. Anyway, that's it so far.